Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Deco. Good afternoon, Zeno, and the friends that will follow today. Today, I would like to speak to you about a bow and an arrow. A bow and an arrow from the Hebrew perspective. Arrow in Hebrew, chetz. Chetz comes from chatzi, to cut into two parts. Chatzi is a half. Chatzi is a half, while chetz is an arrow. So arrow in Hebrew cuts, in a way of reality, into two parts. And we go to a mission. Let's say we have some kind of intention to buy a book, for an instance, or to buy something in the supermarket. And we are focus oriented, meaning we are going for this book specifically in an aim to get, I repeat, to get this book from this shop. And this is what we had or having in our head to get or to achieve. Once we are going to life mission oriented like an arrow, chetz, we are losing the perspective of the 360, the whole sphere. Because if we are moving like an arrow to the target, like hunters, because we would like to get this book now, faster, what do we do since we're shooting our intention like an arrow, like a chetz? We split the reality into two. In what way? Our target is 1 and all the rest is 0. Meaning, what I would like to get is the 1 and I cancel everything around it. It does not exist at all. Do we understand this kind of perspective? Yes, yes. Chetz, very good. Chetz is, or arrow is reality, is from A to B. Someone sits at home, he has the notion of he would like to get a book, he goes to hunt it. This is from A to B. This is how he slices reality into two. What he wants, yes, is the one, and all the rest does not exist. Yes, not the traffic jam, not the fact that there's an accident on the road. Nothing exists, not the trees, not the birds, not the flowers, not other people. His notion of what he would like to get comes first as one. All the rest is not just 0, but cancelled, as not exist, as not care. Do we understand this reality of the arrow? Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Anea. Good morning. I'm very happy to see you here. Another perspective is to go to life and see what comes. Meaning, it would be nice if I will find a book somewhere. It's not a must, it's an option. And I don't run after the book. I don't try to achieve the book. I don't try to grab the book. I just go to life. And if it happens that the book in a way pops somewhere during our voyages, okay, we can buy the book, but if not, also okay. In this way, we gain, in a way, the reality of 360 around us, the whole sphere, the whole universe. So the hunter mind splits unity of reality into duality of me subject and what I try to get object. Yes, this is exactly what happens. The hunter mind splits reality into two. This is why a hunter in Hebrew is tzayad. Tzayad comes from tzad, the hand, but also the side. It's one-sided reality, so to speak. The hunter has one-sided reality. He just wants to go for what he would like to get. Another perspective is not the hunter, but the one who goes to life and see what happens. In a way, he is not pushing himself out to the world. He is not pushing himself to act in the world. He is not the doer. He's just being. And what happens, happens. And then, in this way, yes, hunter versus shepherd. Excellent. Yes, excellent. And in this way, a new world or a new reality is exposed to him. This is it. Once we don't push ourselves, yes, to the target, to cut reality into two, but it's not two in a way that is 50-50. It's I want what I want and all the rest is cancelled. Nothing exists. It's 1-0 in a way. This is one reality. And there's another reality, the reality of the shepherd, so to speak. Goes to life, just being, see what happens. Maybe there's traffic jam, maybe there's changes, maybe now there are people who are measuring the road. It's a new reality, there are other vehicles. Maybe there's a different kind of climate, temperature, people are moving in space, colors, birds, different sounds. So while we're moving in time and space like shepherds, meaning we are not orientated to get some kind of an aim in life, we can experience the whole sphere, the whole universe is around us. This is a 360 degrees reality. Now, in our time, people can buy or, yes, experience 360s, even with Google. Yes, Google Street Views, we can experience 360, like panoramic or more than this view. Yes, there are technological, in a way, abilities today, but try to go through life with the shepherd perspective. I don't go to the world to get something because we don't need anything from the world, really. This is the real reality. Try to walk, yes, like this, that we don't need anything from the world. We're just being there as part of this beautiful universe. In this way, life look completely different. Why? Because there is no animosity that comes with the fact that I would like to get something. If, yes, the hunter implies a sense of self, yes, centeredness, where me is in the center of everything. Yes, the doer and haver. Excellent. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. And once we go with the mindset of a hunter to the world, animosity arises immediately. We don't need to think about it. This is, I would say, automatically happened. And everybody is our enemy, and everybody is trying to get me and to separate me from my goal. Yes, yes, the hunter presupposes the hunted. Excellent. But when we go to life or leave the doorstep with the notion of the shepherd or shepherd mindset, things, life are coming, or just there is no animosity. We move in space with no animosity or grudge against the world, against other people, even that we don't know, we never met, just bodies or, yes, that are happen to be in the time and space that we are moving. We are not bothered by people. We don't try to cancel them in our mind. We don't try to cross them on the way to the target. We don't contempt them because they don't appear like us, or they don't think like us, or they don't behave or talk like us. We're just being with them, sharing their space like other, let's say, creatures of divinity. Is this concept clear? Have you experienced going to life with the notion of the shepherd, that I don't want to get anything from the world? I don't need my movement in the world is not to get anything, not from the world, not from people, not from companies, not from stores. Isn't this original idea of fasting, not to take anything? Yes, this is basically it. This is fasting, not to take. We don't need to grab. Yes? Once I was happening to be in a supermarket, and an old man came into the supermarket. He was so terrified. He was looking for a product so intensively, and he was trying to hunt the product in his eyes between the shelf. It was such a sad scenery. He was so afraid that he will not get it. He was quite, let's say, he was not poor. He was well off. He has a lot of essence in his life, a lot of money, a lot of traveling in the world, and we could say experience. But still, he had the mindset of a hunter. He was trying to hunt with his eyes some kind of a product, and he was so terrified because he was moving between the shelves like a machine, a scanner machine, a person above 80 years old. So it's about of what kind of mindset do we have? Not just when we leave the doorstep, or even when we move at home or with friends. People even usually speak, I heard. Yes, of course we're not, Fernando. Of course, of course. This is the world of duality. This is the world of duality. Yes. And not just behave outside with this mindset or carry this mindset outside the doorstep. Also, when we are at home, when we are itself with ourselves, we don't need to get anything. We don't need to become someone. Yes, we don't, because the world exists and we exist in the world in the mode of being without any definitions of ourselves, brother, father, son, and so on, without any definition, without any aim. Look at the lion when the lion rests. What a divinity when the lion rests or the cat rests. In the same manner, we are resting in being. Once we have a kind of a thought or a brief of reflection that we need to do something, then suddenly what happens is a mechanical process. We don't have control about it at all because we are machines. If arises or appear a thought that I need to do something, suddenly comes the machine mindset take over in a split of a second. I don't know even if we can count it. And suddenly we become this monstrous mind of we are the doers. Yes? So if you notice in yourselves the movement between being, just being, existing in life and in time and space, like all the trees, the bees, the butterflies, the cats, just being. Not try to achieve something, not try to become someone, not to think that we have some kind of a definition, a tag, a director, a writer, all kinds of those titles. Just to be. Just to be. And this creates a great sense of peace, yes, and creates a lot of vibrating sense of being one with everything. Identities like heavy baggage. Oh, yes, bags. Turns out we can drop them anytime. Who knew? Yes, identities. This is a great heavy luggage to tell someone that he is, let's say, French, or he comes from this family, from this heritage, that he is the seventh generation. All kinds of things. This is a very heavy luggage. This is not who we are. Yes? Who we are beings. Yes, that have no age, no address, and so on. To go every day to the world, or to wake up in the morning and to think that I'm a French citizen, I'm seventh generations from the French Revolution, and so on. I'm a director, I'm a video editor, I'm whatever, I'm an engineer, I'm an architect. To wake up with this armor, which is a false mechanical armor, it's not just a load, it's also a lie. And this lie, in a way, how do you say, is like a barrier between us as beings and life, as life is a being. We use the armor to protect ourselves, but actually it shields us from life. Yes. The armor that we carry within ourselves, all those false identities, we carry to protect ourselves from life. We go with like a fear or angst. Some people have angst from strangers to even to come to the bus. They're afraid because there will be unknown people in the bus. Yes. So this armor is seemingly to protect, but this is a heavy, heavy barrier between being and the world. We are trying to protect nothingness, plain air, nothingness. We are trying to protect nothingness. This is how it goes. The machine, yes. A fence in the ocean. Yes, yes, a fence in the ocean. There's nothing to protect. Being, by the way, being does not need any protection because being is being, like a tree, like a bird. What needs protection is false facade, meaning false masks, false identity. Yes, false identities, they need protection. We need a lot of energies to maintain lies and facade, meaning mask. It demands a lot of energy and resources. By the way, that we don't have. Yes, it's a 24/7 job. Yes, and you don't get even a salary of a nurse in hospital, in ER. Yes, it's a lot of resources that going for nothing. You know how many 8 billion people on this planet are maintaining their false identity 24/7. Imagine how much energy goes to nowhere, just nowhere, just to maintain false identity or belonging. I'm a citizen of this country, of this continent. I'm an architect. I'm a doctor. I'm professor. I'm ecologist. All of I am, so to speak. I am is I am, is not has to do with nothing else. Being is being. This energy could actually be used for something positive. Yes. Once imagine this exercise, that just to take group of people that practice the shepherd mind without using the hunting mind, what happens? Resonation of love, no borders, no animosity. Like they say, love melts all borders. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of energy is being, so to speak, is being created just by, and motivation, just to be without maintaining the doer or the hunter. Once we drop this fence that I am the doer, that I'm the maker of my life, once we get rid of this shield, suddenly we look around and we see that everything around us is complete. And we don't need to do any action, not to maintain, not to protect. And this is a great relief because we realize we are not slaves, we are not in bondage. What bondage? Of the self. To maintain the self. Yes, I'm a director, I'm a doctor, I'm a professor. It demands a lot of energy. Every morning, 24/7, makeup and masks and dressing and clothing and text that always supports this I am the maker of my life. A lot of energy goes out there. How can the self drop the armor if armor itself is the soul? Yeah? The self, yes. 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 Self cannot do it. This is for sure. Self cannot do it. Yes, the self will never let you get rid of the shield because this is the self. He will never let you get rid of. It's not of his interest. Yes? Anea, I'm hopeful and seeing more people drop these false identities, and there is less fuel for division that has been promoted. Excellent. So, yes, so how can we get rid of it then if we can't do it ourselves? We listen to conversations and then it falls. It just falls. Somehow this listening is working. The listening managed to penetrate every wall, the listening, and one day it just never exists. Or even for a couple of hours, it's great. Even if we can experience for a short time, from time to time, this is great relief. Peaceful observer. Yes, excellent, Anea. Yes, we're just observing, witnessing. Yes. Impersonal witness. Yes. We're just impersonal witness. We don't have personalities. We're just moving here, being here, with no intention in the back mind to go for something. Yes, to just to be. And then we realize that everything is already exist. And many, many worlds are coming to us in peace. We don't need to steer the boat. for a direction. We're just witnessing. There's morning and then there's noon. We're just witnessing nature. How does nature, and we are aligned with nature. We don't have to do anything. It is, in a way, removing a lot of anxiety because many, many people experience deep anxiety, how do you say, episodes from the notion that they have to keep some kind of appearance, especially with selfing, especially with social media, especially with all kinds of unnecessary, let's say, nets like TikTok. And this is, in a way, compel people to pull more and more shields on simple being. Any questions so far? I've seen a lot of spiritual people. I've seen a lot of spiritual people claim this witness as I, and then it's just another piece of armor. Yes, because there is no I. Yes, because there is no I. In effect, there is no I. Yes. Questions? Yes. I think microphone is open if we can hear. Hello? Or it does not come. Hello, friends?
Hello,
Hello, good morning.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello,
Yes, we can hear you. You
hello,
can speak.
Iti. Hello,
Good
friends.
morning. Yes?
Yes, Iti, nice to be here and speaking to you. Uh, this this is so beautiful team, Iti, and full of let's say questioning by I mean when we hear. We surely are used to question about those modes of being because I guess everybody experienced once in a while uh, the mode of being of like the hunter and also the mode of being of the shepherd and just being lighter, being more connected with this non-egoic state of being. And my question it would be how could we um, come closer to this mindset of the shepherd, and what would be the acts of the shepherd? What would be besides uh, the being itself? What would be the let's say the attitude uh, of the shepherd? That is the question. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you for your question. There is a beautiful example when people, let's say there is a ball being thrown in the air. So a hunter mindset will try to go for the ball and catch the ball. This is a hunter mindset, the egocentric, yes? A shepherd mindset would let the ball come to him. So let the world come to us. We don't act. This is non-doing in a way. We don't act. It's a non-doing. The ball is coming to us. Reality comes at us. We can experience a man in the morning run after the application when the bus is coming, and he has a heart pulse, and he is already sweating in the morning. I have to catch the bus on time. This is basically, I've seen this scene also in American movies. This is a very, very leading scene in American movies, how everything starts with tick, on time. Somebody goes from shower, aftershave, get dressed, suit, into the train, phone, text messages, chuck, 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 run from door to door, from entry to entry, goes to the elevator, grabs a coffee on the way, chuck, 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 chuck. It is interesting that, yes, my morning routine, yes. It is interesting how much the movies, yes, how much the movies are in a way enforcing, yes, this reality of the doer or the makers. And we are not even noticing, but it has been received in our eyes that this is the path, not just for success, this is what life is about. And it influences many people. It also creates a lot of anxiety because if a person has to function, yes, yes, thank you, Zeno. If self cannot get out of self, we can do is giving up and let God do the rest, so to speak. My morning, yes, thank you, Zeno, thank you. So, returning to this theme in all the movies, how everybody is running to the subway with their suit, with their coffee in the hand, sweating, heart is pulsating, running into the elevators, go up the elevators, bursting into offices. Already people, they're in panic because something happened in those 2 seconds. They're pushing. The movies are pushing and enforcing that this is life. Yes, also parties and alcohol. This is life. If you will be bold enough, if you will get the best suit or the best dressing or the best hairdressers or the beauty salon or the best Botox, it will give you something. This is what click on every movie. This is what you will see, how people rush in the morning, look with the children rush in the morning. What happens every day between 7:45 and 8:30 here? An army of cars are just dropping children like commando units at the school gate. This is just to hear the tuck, tuck, doors open, tuck, children are being thrown at the gate, tuck, 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 tuck. And every mom is already, or father, is already looking at the watch. I have to drop the children, but I also have to go after that to work, and I have to organize the children and showers and breakfast and school bags, and I have to go myself to work, and I have to bring something or to cook something on the way. And there's WhatsApp, and there's wars, and there are missiles, and there's army duties, you know? And people just end up in the doctor's office with a lot of anxieties, attacks, a heart attack, slight heart attack for a mother from this anxiety every morning. And all of this is really nonsense, because this is not happening. Yes, the pharmacy industry really likes this mode. Yes, and pushing this hard. Yes. Anea, I wonder when time, as we know it, was created promoting this hurriedness creating distraction and division? Good question. Yes, Deco? You can open your microphone if you want. We don't hear you for Can you hear Deco? Hello? Deco does not have a green color around his name, so it is impossible. Deco, you don't have a green color, so it is impossible to hear you. So again, the question arises. Yes? Yes, Deco, can you speak? He's not coming on green. There is no green color at the moment for Deco. I don't know why. I don't know. Just doesn't come. We cannot hear you, Deco. Lilo, do you hear someone? I don't hear too. There is no green coloration around the frame, so the speaker does not come. I mean, the sound does not come. I'm very sorry about that. So the question is, Anea asked, where does it come from? Where does the notion that I have to act in the world, I have to present myself in the world, and so on and so forth. But maybe to let go, and because we are not the doers, yes, as Zena wrote, to leave it to a higher power and see. Because if we leave it to a higher power, which is not us, we notice that we're not pushing the time and we are not pushing ourselves to do something because the clock says 8:30, and we wait or we drink something and the spirit rests. And then when the spirit rests, suddenly we move, not because we give ourselves, so to speak, command to move and to run to the street like frantic, because the spirit in a way lifts us and directs us through the movement of the day in her rate with her accompany. This is a completely different day and a life, meaning I don't beat myself up down the time slot, but the spirit, when the spirit wants, she will move me, she will carry me from the chair to the movement of the day, and I'm listening to her. What enables the listening to the spirit? The fact that I'm not pushing it, I'm not looking at the time, and I'm not pushing, so to speak, the body and this brain connected to it or mind. I don't pharaoh the body with commands. You should be in this time. You should have done this so far. Because this is what the judging brain does to us all the time. Beat us. You are not, how do you say, best like everyone. You will stay behind. Everyone is progressing. You did not do enough. Try to take this exercise if you can. Yes, yes, can you speak about the creation of time from perspective of Genesis? This is a very deep question because there isn't any time and space. So Bereshit, or the bet, or duality, or time and space happens because the source of life removed itself from the center. And by removing, yes, his presence from the center, there was a space and time created. The moment that the being removed itself, withdrew himself, suddenly there was space and time created. But this is not just about Genesis as we read it, that it was historical act. Yes, it is happening all the time. When we are, as being, creature, remove our being, meaning when we withdraw our being inside of ourselves and not let the spirit guide, at the same moment, there is a space and time being created, a black hole. Did you understand this? Perspective, it's not about something that happened 5,000 years before our time. Did you understand this perspective? Yes. Thank you. Yes, I think, Deco, you can speak if you want.
Hello.
Oh, the green comes. Excellent.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Hello, Eti. Thank you. I'm struggling with the technology. Okay. Eti, I just wanted to thank you for this theme. It's really dear to me. And if I may share something I read in VineRap yesterday, actually. It's beautiful, and he speaks about the cup of wine in our hands during a meal. And there is a beautiful relation. I don't know if I will be able to expose it properly, but he compares life to a meal, and he points that the word of a meal in Hebrew is like mishte, if I'm not wrong, mishte.
Mhm.
Also related to Bereshit, I guess, and to create. And just trying to relate it with the main theme of this session about the non-doing. And Weinreb speaks about the blessing of the wine before the meal, meaning that when we are in this table of life, we have this cup of wine, which might represent Shekhinah, the divine presence, in our very hands. We have this cup of wine in our 5 fingers in the world of doing, and what we can do with this cup of wine is to bless it or not, or we can choose to drink it and intoxicate ourselves with it, with food or yes.
It's a great, how do you say, example. And I would like to open it because we don't bless about the wine in Hebrew. We bless Priya Gefen. We bless the fruit. Please pay attention because we bless Priya Gefen, the fruit of the vine. I'll try to write it here because I'm trying things at the same time. Priya Gefen, the fruit of the vine, meaning the plant, not the wine, The blessing is on the fruit, Pri HaGefen. The blessing is not upon the wine, Yain 70, but the blessing is about Pri HaGefen, the fruit of the vine. Well, when Gefen has the value of, 1 second, 133, yes, which this is 13, double 3, which is 39. Second, 39. And with the 0, this is Shamayim. 390 is Shamayim. This is heaven. This is what hides in the blessing of Pri HaGefen. We are blessing, we are holding a cup or a glass of wine, yain. But the blessing is about Pri HaGefen, about the fruit of the vine, the plant, and not about the product that man had made. Because yain, as the value of 70, or wine, is a product made by men. So we don't bless the product of men, but we bless the fruit of the vine, which is a God-given presence. Yes, yes. There is a blessing that while we bless, yes, while we bless the vine, the next to the table, the human eye, so to speak, which is Ain, meets the wine, because both of them are having the value of 70. Meaning and this is also interesting because the human eye can see only the product. I repeat, the human eye is able to see only the product. The human cannot see or have any connection to the divine thought. For this reason, we are blessing about the fruit of the vine. Pri HaGefen, what God has given, and not to the deeds of our hands, which is the product called yain. Yes, we don't have access to nothing, to ayin with aleph, to nothingness, to infinity. We just have access to ayin, which is the 70, the wine as a product of man. Yes, God, or God-given, God did not give wine, table wine for this. Yes, God did not give the product. Please pay attention to this distinction. God did not give wine. Nature, we go in nature, we see the vine, meaning it sounds similar, because I'm writing and speaking at the same time. God gave vine, which is the plant, and its fruit, grapes. So we bless the fruit, the grapes, which are the fruit of the vine. What nature gives, we don't bless the product. We don't bless men. Please pay attention. Already from this situation, we can withdraw the whole relation to life. 2, Hamotzi, blessing of bread, where we bless the pulling out instead of the product. Yes. Excellent. Yes. 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 Of course, Hamotzi, it's the same principle of Hamotzi takes out the bread. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, the bread from the earth. Hamotzi. Yes. We don't bless the bread directly. Yes. This is excellent. Those little actions during the day, in a way, they try to suggest that we are not the doers. Yes? We are not the doers, but it's, in a way, it's a tendency to fall to the fact of thinking that we are the doers, that we are the makers of our lives. Yes. It's a mistake. It's a mistake that movies and communications are enforcing it. If people have this awareness, yes, that we are not the doers, they also, I believe, will pull themselves out from toxic communication, from toxic environment that just try to enforce this, I'm the maker of my life, and so on. Pulls us out from self-hamotzi. Yes, when we say hamotzi, and there is a great emphasis of the hey, hamotzi, because the hay is not us. This is in a way the divine act, because we don't cause the wheat to grow. We don't do it. This is what nature does. So the pulling, in a way, bread from the earth is not our actions. This is not our deeds. Yes, this is something that nature gives. Like the fruit of the vine. We don't do anything. No man created in a laboratory, botanical laboratory vine. This is nature gift for us. Yes, and we cannot claim, and this is the interesting thing, we cannot claim, no human can claim that he created a vine, an oak tree, a dolphin, an ocean. We cannot claim this. Please pay attention. Our brain made reality is quite synthetic. Yeah, it's a mechanical machine. It's just a machine. Some people call it smart computer. Just a machine. The brain runs by itself. Yes, this is a machine with many horses. Artificial stupidity, yes. Ignorance as well. Artificial. Yes, yes. This is what creates the ignorant mindset, the selfing. The more person is has a self centeredness, the more he broadcasts to the world ignorance. So it doesn't matter if people cross the whole career of being professor somewhere or being great, let's say, masters in their field. As long as their self-centeredness or narcissism, they broadcast to the world ignorance. This is a very interesting equation, meaning people used to tend to think that ignorance has to do with not knowing the alphabet or being an alphabet. This is not what ignorance is about. Ignorance, the great ignorance, is self centeredness or great stupidity or blindness. People can hold. I've seen this in a meeting in the university. People hold titles of professors and post, I don't know what is above professors, emerito, I don't know, the many, many titles. I saw them in a meeting in the university because there was a discussion in a master paperwork, and I was evidencing to write what is happening there. And I saw it doesn't give anybody high rank, the higher status in the university or highest does not, in a way, protect a person from ignorance. Just doesn't. They can be professors with many publications in many magazines, but the more they appear with their self-centeredness, it's worth nothing, and even minus. Because they are like black holes moving in space. They claim and demand everything. So it doesn't matter where people are located. And some people don't have much knowledge, but they're not ignorant because their heart is open. They care. They're not the sharp pencil in the pencil box, so to speak, but they're caring, loving people. They will give you whatever they have. Yes, Anea. Yes. Like all religions have this idea that it's better to serve than to know. Yes. Yes. They have it beautifully said in Hebrew. They say to pour water on the hand of someone than to be first in stage, meaning to serve someone, to help him with the very, very basic actions, just to give him a glass of water and or to wash his hand, they call it in Hebrew. Not to wash his hand, but to pour water on his hand. This is a great service. Any kind of, just to serve someone is a great being state, not to know. Because when we serve, we are being. Yes? Service is basically being. So if, and this is the question that I think that Deco asked before, how to become shepherd, is just to serve. When we serve, we don't have identity. It's like the angels or the messengers. Yes? When we serve, it doesn't matter who is the one who serves us a glass of water. Because at the moment we need water, so it doesn't matter if it's a policeman or a nurse or a neighbor or a little boy. Yes? So only serving is the salvation from self-centeredness. When a person living life, has the realization that the only way out from self-centeredness, ignorance, and hunter's mindset is service, he is in a way being saved from his own misery. Only the notion of service, but service I mean with no payment. When I say service, I mean voluntarily serve, serving a higher cause. This is the only way to get out of self. There is no other way. There is no other way because, and the sages will tell you from all religions the same, self cannot get out of self. That's great. That's great. The only way is to serve. Sharet, lesharet. Please pay attention because lesharet is to serve. It holds the letters of Bereshit. This is five. I mean, in Bereshit we have 6 letters. Lesharet to serve. Sharet holds, yes, 3. 3 of Bereshit. So the only thing that it can save us from self-centeredness is a service to a higher cause. This is the only way to rehab ourselves from self-centeredness, which is in a way very equivalent to alcoholism. When a person is self-centered, has this notion of self-centeredness, not just ignorant, but it's like a person who has been drinking too much alcohol. He's drunk from himself. And for this, people go to AA. I think that AA workshop should, how do you say, be spreaded more, not just by people who are physically drinking alcohol, but for all a community of narcissists, of self-centeredness people. The message is wider than Alcoholic Anonymous. Rehab for everyone. Yes. Yeah, this is the message for today. Rehab for everyone. Thank you so much for participating in our conversation today and supporting this notion of being. Thank you so much. And Shabbat Shalom, and see you soon, the next conversation.